Hello, this is Sarah Brash. Welcome back to my channel. So it's pretty late and I made a video about Sarah Palin's lawsuit, defamation lawsuit against the New York Times that was a lot longer than I meant for it to be. So I'm gonna make this video pretty short, but I will do another video tomorrow about it. So I wanna talk about apparently on Thursday, the 17th in New York City, this Thursday, February 17th, I believe in the evening in New York City, Robby Soave, who I believe he's one of the editors or the editor of Reason magazine, something like that. Anyway, so he's a journalist. And he actually, I've corresponded with him. It was a long time ago, but I've corresponded with him and he expressed, how sorry he was for, the gross injustice that had been done to me, and the reprehensible mistreatment of me that had occurred, especially by the Yale administration. So anyway, so he completely knows who I am, and knows that I'm the entirely innocent victim of the Living or Not Being Well Black hate crime hoax at Yale, knows that my life was destroyed, my livelihood, my reputation. I'm still struggling to survive. I still live in a hellish nightmare, surreal, hellish nightmare, after almost 4 years. So he knows all of this. Anyway, so he's debating Jonathan Haidt on Thursday, February 17th in New York City in the evening, I believe. I don't know exactly what the venue is or who's organizing it. I can't remember. But anyway, so they're going to debate. Now, they're going to debate the topic of whether or not the federal government should be regulating social media. So obviously, as probably everyone who is watching this already knows, Jonathan Haidt is an evil demon. He is a woke KKK monster. He's a hypocrite. He's a bigot. He's a charlatan. He's a fraud. So Jonathan Haidt is a social psychologist at NYU, I believe at the business school, and he rose to prominence really being someone who positioned himself as being anti-cancel culture, as being anti-wokeness, as being anti-woke cancel culture, especially in academia, especially on college campuses. He is the author of a number of books on these topics, but he's also spoken at length about the dangers of social media and social media moral outrage mobs and how they drive innocent people, especially young girls, to suicide. And so he wrote The Coddling of the American Mind with Greg Lukianoff, who leads the FIRE organization, which is like Freedom and Individual Rights and Education or something like that. Anyway, that's the acronym. So anyway, so as probably pretty much everyone who's watching this video probably already knows, so Jonathan Haidt, in a shocking turn of events, repudiated the content of the Coddling of the American Mind, repudiated his entire body of scholarship and work during his fall 2018 book tour for the Coddling of the American Mind with Greg Lukianoff. He turned his fall 2018 book tour into a social media moral outrage mob against me, meant to drive me to suicide, meant to destroy my life. I now believe, well, I'm not entirely sure of his motivation. I think it probably was multifaceted. I think he could have very easily made some kind of deal with the New York Times. I think he could have very easily made some kind of deal with the Yale administration, and in particular, Yale President Peter Salovey. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I think he's I believe he was and is a rabid anti-Trumper. So I think that a lot of people, especially after the post-millennial article came out in spring 2019, they realized that my story was going to help Trump. And so then people, even within, the ostensibly, anti-woke and anti-cancel culture circles, like someone like Jonathan Haidt, other people who were, even those who were at least nominally supportive of me before then, once the post-millennial piece came out in spring 2019, and it became perfectly obvious that my story was going to help Trump, all of these people turned on me. Even the persons who claim to be anti-woke and anti-cancel culture, like Jonathan Haidt, if they're a rabid anti-Trumper, they turned on me. They absolutely turned on me and attacked me. But actually, Jonathan Haidt, his book tour for The Coddling of the American Mind was in fall of 2018. I think his motivations were probably multifaceted. So he grossly defamed me with the intention of driving me to suicide, getting me killed, destroying my lifelong human and civil rights, academic and legal careers. I'm also a social psychologist, actually, and I was the social psychologist PhD student of the father of procedural justice at the Justice Collaboratory at Yale Law School, Tom Tyler, whom, Tom Tyler and Jonathan Haidt know each other. They know each other very well. So also Jonathan Haidt knows my Yale philosophy advisor, Jason Stanley, very well. So there's pretty much zero chance that Jonathan Haidt didn't know who I was, didn't know that I was a completely innocent Yale grad student, social psychologist, civil rights attorney, human rights activist, and lifelong civil rights attorney. There's no way that higher education, especially at the elite level, especially within respective fields, is incredibly incestuous and insular. Everyone knows everyone. And if you're talking about major figures in social psychology, like a Tom Tyler, like a Jonathan Haidt, they know, especially once the hate crime hoax happened and was all over the press, and my name was everywhere. There's no way that Jonathan Haidt didn't know who I was and didn't know that I was entirely innocent. There's no way. So he meant to defame me. He meant to destroy me. He meant to get me killed. He meant to drive me to suicide. And Jonathan Haidt has never, ever, ever apologized or retracted his statements. In fact, the opposite. Jonathan Haidt continues his behind-the-scenes smear campaign against me to this day. And I have publicly posted an email that he sent to someone, which was very, very clearly an email that he had pre-prepared to give to anyone who asked him about me. It is his behind-the-scenes smear campaign that he continues to perpetrate against me to destroy me to this day. So that's who Jonathan Haidt is. That's what he did to me. Disgusting. He's an evil demon. He's a bigot. He's a liar. He's a charlatan. He's a fraud. He should resign in abject shame from his position as a social psychologist, as a professor. He has no business teaching students. He has no business engaging in the public sphere as an expert on anything after what he did to me, especially not the harms and dangers of social media. He turned his fall 2018 book tour. He defamed me on Sam Harris's podcast, and he defamed me on the New York Times Book Review podcast, and others as well, but those are the two that come to mind immediately. And he has no business presenting himself to the public as an expert on the harms of social media after what he did to me. But my main point is this. Robby Soave is a journalist. He knows what Jonathan Haidt did to me. He's going to debate Jonathan Haidt on Thursday in New York City, February 17th, about whether or not the federal government should be regulating social media. Now, I'll do other videos about whether or not the federal government should be regulating social media. That's not what this video is about. My video right now, this video, is about asking Robby Soave to do his job as a journalist. He would be completely remiss. It would be unfathomable that Robby Soave could debate Jonathan Haidt about whether or not the federal government should be regulating social media because of the harms that are caused by social media. It is unfathomable. It is unthinkable that a journalist would debate Jonathan Haidt about that subject and not ask Jonathan Haidt about what he did to me and is continuing to do to me. It's unthinkable. It is unthinkable that a journalist would debate Jonathan Haidt about that topic and not ask him about what he did to me. So I am asking Robby Soave to please do your job as a journalist and ask Jonathan Haidt about what he did to me. Ask him, please. Okay, I don't want this video to get too much longer. I think I'll do another one tomorrow. But I love you all so much, and I will have all of my fundraising links below, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.